You don't need to be a dedicated fashionista or a regular attendee of Milan Fashion Week to understand how important style is in the life of a modern person. Our clothes send powerful signals to those around us, projecting an image we try to present to others. However, how much do we grasp how others interpret our choice of clothing, and how different can that impression be from what we believe we are conveying to them? Hello everyone, welcome to the Cinema.Fashion channel, and today we'll discuss the psychology of fashion. How does clothing influence our behavior? How can you manage your mood through clothing? And how might your eating habits also be related to fashion choices?
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound.
Several psychological studies have revealed a strong influence of clothing choices on how we perceive and judge each other. For instance, there's a stereotype that women have a better understanding of fashion and, as a result, often feel uncertain about their wardrobe choices. Contrary to the widely accepted belief, a 1982 study by the American Psychological Association found that men are often more self-conscious than women about their clothing and how others perceive them. The study involved 52 students who had to fill out a self-awareness questionnaire and answer 3 questions related to clothing. Against expectations, clothing choice turned out to be a more significant ritual for men than for women. Contrary to expectations, the magnitude of these relationships was greater for men than for women. Men high in public self-consciousness may capitalize to a greater degree than women on the strategic use of clothing for self-presentation, reflexive self-evaluation, and increasing the value of the self as a social commodity. Whether you're a man or a woman, your fashion choices can impact both your self-awareness and the impression you make on others. In early civilizations, the primary purpose of clothing was to keep the body warm and relatively dry. However, with the advent of central heating that now warms our homes, clothing has transformed from a practical asset into a social marker that influences how we see ourselves. In many cultures, a sense of style embodies a personal notion of wealth and taste. Economist George Taylor vividly demonstrated this with the hemline index. Taylor noted that during periods of economic recession and a trend towards modest consumption, women often prefer maxi-length dresses. In contrast, during prosperous times, the opposite occurs: hemlines of skirts become shorter. A second key influence on our dress sense is a result of millions of years of development as a species. As with many animals, the concept of mate selection in evolutionary psychology suggests that our behavior is determined by our efforts to find a mate and to reproduce. According to signaling theory, a male peacock will display his vibrant fan of covert feathers in a ritual to attract a female with whom to mate. Such rituals vary from species to species, but in humans, our ability to create and wear clothes gives us an equivalent advantage in being able to distinguish ourselves from a crowd and demonstrate our individuality in an effort to find a mate. Conversely, too, we might use clothing to merge into a crowd and hide our individuality by dressing in a uniform. A study by Joseph Benz at the University of Nebraska surveyed more than 90 men and women with regard to how they deceive potential partners whilst on dates. The researchers found that both genders tend to use deception when dating, but for different purposes. Males were found to try to impress their dates by emphasizing the security that they could offer the partner, for example, by exaggerating their financial position or by trying to demonstrate a preparedness to commit. Women, however, were deceptive with regards to their body image, exaggerating physical features in an effort to appear more attractive to their date. Another factor influencing our clothing choices is how men and women perceive and interpret different colors. In another experiment, researchers photographed people in various colored outfits and later asked participants to rate the attractiveness of the individuals in the photos. They found that the color of clothing affects how men assess the attractiveness of both men and women, as well as how women evaluate the attractiveness of men. Interestingly, the color of clothing did not impact judgments of one woman about another woman. Researchers wearing red clothing generally tended to make participants rate others more favorably in terms of attractiveness compared to when they were dressed in other colors. This finding may explain the results of a study where waitresses wearing different colored t-shirts while serving in a restaurant received larger tips when they wore specifically red tops. However, the color of the waiter's shirt did not affect the tips left by female customers. By the way, I delved deeper into color psychology in this video. Dress is a systematic means of transmission of information about the wearer. A person's choice of clothing can heavily influence the impression they transmit and is therefore a powerful communication tool. When it comes to communicating confidence and ability, what you wear plays an important role in creating positive first impressions. Whether you agree with the statement or not, clothes make the man, or at least others' perception of the man. Costume designers and directors truly understand the importance of choosing the right clothing for the best portrayal of a character. Think about Harry Potter's glasses, the stylish Wall Street suits, or Cleopatra's exquisite jewelry. Friends, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to this channel, hit the bell, and leave a comment. That way you help grow and make this content more visible. Thank you very much. Fashion psychology is about understanding the deeper aspects of how fashion affects human behavior and how people's lives are affected by it. People have the habit of going shopping when they are sad to brighten their spirits. Fashion evokes emotions that can be negative or positive. Having no idea what to wear or how to wear it makes us uncomfortable and makes us lose confidence. Consequently, we begin to worry about what others will think, and that affects our mood in many ways. In the study Understanding the Connections Between Positive Psychology and Fashion, a Grounded Theory Analysis by Christopher Simon Masha and Kate Hefferon, researchers found that people who are introverted, shy, and less communicative tend to use clothing as a shield to blend into their surroundings, avoid attention, and create a sense of privacy. In a nutshell, fashion practices are employed to sidestep psychological costs and maintain inner comfort through conformity. In order to express and communicate the private self, fashion practices are being used as a visual representation of personal traits. Creating and projecting a desired image of self is regarded as a significant identity symbol. To be more specific, the form of identity is the process of self-actualization, which involves a visual representation of unique selfhood and reveals feelings such as comfort, self-confidence, and authenticity. This finding is in line with Snyder and Fromkin's uniqueness-seeking theory 1977, which state that individuals have a need for uniqueness defined as a positive striving for differences to other people. The statement about self-actualization through fashion practices supports Guy and Banham's 2000 finding that women's clothing reveals stories about who they are present self, who they desire to be future self, and who they have been past self. The following study done by Guy and Banim 2001 reported that women keep their clothing for sentimental and nostalgic value. This is due to the fact that these garments carry connotations and arouse meaningful memories of past relationships, times, and self. We need to remember that even when we feel negative vibes, there is always a positive side to every situation. Is there a dress that you think is the safest and most comfortable that I could wear? Is there a handbag that you can carry every day, like the perfect handbag for every outfit? So these are confidence pieces that you can wear anytime when you feel less motivated, less confident, or less powerful. The positive effects of these things can boost your self-esteem and help you forget all your negative feelings. Fashion is a form of nonverbal communication that expresses thoughts and personality. We can communicate in many ways using colors, prints, styling, and more. Friends, let fashion be your ally and visual communicator. Thanks to everyone who spent this time with me. See you in the next videos. Bye.